Welcome to the Stoicism Hub. Today we're diving deep into a life-changing topic, the power of not reacting. In our fast-paced world, we're constantly surrounded by things that test our patience and push our emotional buttons. But imagine if, instead of reacting on impulse, you could face any challenge with calm, clarity, and unshakable control. In this video, we'll be exploring 7 crucial rules from Stoicism to help you master your emotions, build mental resilience, and take charge of your inner peace. These timeless strategies have empowered people for centuries to respond thoughtfully, not emotionally. Whether it's in relationships, work, or daily life, controlling your reactions can completely transform how you experience the world. If you're ready to unlock the secrets of self-mastery and embrace the strength of a calm mind, let's dive in. Rule 1. Pause before reacting. One of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal is the ability to pause before reacting. This principle is foundational in Stoicism and essential to controlling your emotions. In a world that constantly demands our immediate responses, taking a moment to pause allows you to create space between the stimulus and your reaction. When you feel provoked, the natural impulse is to react based on the heat of the moment. However, as Marcus Aurelius famously advised, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By pausing, you shift from being reactive to proactive. In that moment of stillness, you have the opportunity to choose your response consciously, instead of letting anger, frustration, or fear dictate it. Think of this as taking control of the steering wheel of your emotional life. A quick reaction often leads to regret or saying things you don't mean. But when you take a breath and reflect, you gain control over the narrative, ensuring that you respond in a way that aligns with your higher principles and values. This pause is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of immense strength. It shows that you are mastering yourself, which is far more important than mastering others. The pause gives you time to evaluate the situation rationally. Ask yourself if your reaction will improve the situation, and determine whether your emotional energy is worth spending. In practice, you can cultivate this habit by consciously training yourself. Whenever you feel triggered, pause, count to 5, take a deep breath, and let your initial reaction pass. With time, this practice will become second nature, and you will find yourself much more composed in even the most stressful situations. This not only prevents unnecessary conflict, but also helps you gain respect from others, as you will be seen as someone who does not get easily swayed by emotions. In short, pausing before reacting is a Stoic superpower. It allows you to break free from the chains of impulsive emotional reactions and equips you with the mental clarity to make thoughtful decisions. Rule 2. Shift your perspective. A core teaching of Stoicism is learning to view situations from different perspectives. Emotions like anger, jealousy, and sadness often arise from how we interpret events, not from the events themselves. If you can shift your perspective, you can change how you feel about any given situation. Let's say you're stuck in traffic and you're late for an important meeting. Your first reaction might be frustration or even rage, but if you shift your perspective, you can find peace. Instead of seeing the traffic as a personal attack or an obstacle, see it as an opportunity to practice patience or to reflect on the meeting ahead. This small shift in perspective transforms the situation from something frustrating to something manageable, even productive. Stoics believe that we often suffer more in imagination than in reality. By altering the way we interpret external events, we can control our emotional responses to them. You have no control over the traffic, the weather, or other people's behavior, but you have absolute control over how you perceive them. And this control gives you the power to not react emotionally. Another aspect of shifting perspective is practicing empathy. If someone lashes out at you, instead of reacting with anger, try to understand their perspective. What might they be going through? Are they stressed, anxious, or dealing with personal issues? When you shift your view to consider their situation, it becomes easier to respond with understanding rather than aggression. By shifting your perspective, you are not just controlling your emotions, you are altering your reality. Every event is neutral. It is your interpretation that colors it as positive or negative. The more you practice this mental shift, the more you strengthen your emotional resilience, giving you the power to remain calm in the face of life's challenges. Rule 3. Detach from outcomes. One of the key teachings in Stoicism is the concept of detachment, particularly detaching from outcomes that are beyond your control. Emotional distress often stems from our attachment to how we think things should turn out. We invest our happiness in achieving a specific result, and when things don't go as planned, we react emotionally. The Stoics teach us that while we can control our actions, we cannot control the outcomes of those actions. When you practice detachment from outcomes, you are freeing yourself from emotional turbulence. Imagine preparing diligently for a job interview. You can control your preparation, your attitude, and your performance during the interview, but you cannot control the decision of the hiring panel. If you've done your best, worrying about the result is unnecessary and unproductive. By detaching from the outcome, you free yourself from the anxiety and disappointment that might follow if things don't go your way. Stoicism encourages us to focus on the process, not the result. It's the process, our effort, discipline, and behavior that is within our control. The outcome, on the other hand, is influenced by countless factors beyond our influence. By accepting this, you release the emotional hold that external results have over you. This detachment also applies to interpersonal relationships. We often expect others to behave in a certain way and feel hurt when they don't meet our expectations. If you detach from how others should act, you give yourself emotional freedom. You stop relying on others to make you feel good or validated, and in doing so, you maintain control over your emotions. Detachment is not indifference. It doesn't mean you don't care about the result or the people in your life. It simply means that you are not emotionally dependent on things turning out a certain way. This mindset of detachment fosters a sense of peace and emotional balance, allowing you to remain composed no matter the outcome. Rule 4. Master your inner dialogue. Our emotions are often shaped by the stories we tell ourselves. Mastering your inner dialogue is a powerful step toward controlling your emotions. Stoicism teaches that it is not the events themselves that disturb us, but the judgments we place upon them. By gaining control over your thoughts, you gain control over your emotions. Negative self-talk, catastrophizing, and constant worrying are common forms of inner dialogue that can fuel emotional instability. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that things will always go wrong, or that people are out to get you, your emotions will follow suit. You'll feel anxious, angry, or sad more often than not. However, if you can catch these negative thought patterns and reframe them, you will begin to feel more in control of your emotional state. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "I'm a failure," stop and ask yourself, is that really true? Or am I just experiencing a setback? Shifting your inner dialogue from self-defeating to self-empowering can have a profound effect on your emotional well-being. The Stoics also encourage rational thinking. Instead of allowing your emotions to dictate your thoughts, let your thoughts govern your emotions. Practice asking yourself rational questions when emotions flare up. Is this really as bad as I think it is? Rule 5. Accept what you can't control. One of the most liberating principles in Stoicism is the understanding that some things are within your control and others are not. By accepting this reality, you free yourself from the constant emotional upheaval that comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, wrote, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." This simple truth can dramatically transform how you handle stress, anger, or frustration. When you accept that you cannot control external events, you stop wasting emotional energy on things outside your influence. This includes the actions of others, the weather, the economy, and even your own past. Instead, Stoicism teaches that you should focus on what you can control: your own actions, judgments, and responses. This shift in focus empowers you to take responsibility for your own life without getting emotionally entangled in things you cannot change. For example, if a friend betrays your trust, it's natural to feel hurt. But once you realize that you cannot control their behavior, you can begin to let go of the emotional weight attached to the situation. What you can control is how you respond. You can choose to forgive, to distance yourself, or to confront the issue directly, but you cannot control their actions. Accepting this reduces the intensity of your emotional reaction. This practice of acceptance doesn't mean passivity or resignation. It means recognizing the boundary between what you can and cannot influence, and directing your emotional energy toward productive action. By focusing only on what's within your control, you cultivate a sense of inner peace, resilience, and emotional stability. Rule 6. Cultivate emotional awareness. Before you can control your emotions, you must first understand them. Cultivating emotional awareness means becoming more in tune with what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and how these emotions manifest in your body and mind. Many people react emotionally without fully understanding what's driving their reaction. Stoicism teaches that awareness is the first step toward mastery. To practice emotional awareness, start by paying attention to your physical and mental state when emotions arise. When you feel angry, notice the tension in your muscles, the clenching of your jaw, or the speeding up of your heart rate. When you feel anxious, observe how your thoughts race and your breathing becomes shallow. By becoming aware of these physical cues, you can catch emotional reactions before they fully manifest. Furthermore, understanding the source of your emotions can give you insight into their nature. Are you angry because someone genuinely wronged you, or because they triggered an old wound or insecurity? Emotional awareness allows you to discern between reactions that are justified and those that are exaggerated. Practicing this level of awareness takes time, but with consistent effort, it becomes easier to monitor your emotions objectively. Meditation and reflective journaling are great tools to help you cultivate this awareness. Over time, you'll find that you can acknowledge your emotions without being overwhelmed by them, which is key to maintaining control. Rule 7. Practice compassion and empathy. The final rule for controlling your emotions is to practice compassion and empathy. In Stoicism, compassion is seen not as a weakness, but as a strength that brings harmony to one's emotional life. When you approach others with empathy, you are less likely to be swayed by anger, resentment, or frustration. Empathy allows you to see beyond your own perspective and understand the motivations and struggles of others. When someone upsets you, remember that they might be dealing with unseen difficulties or pain. By viewing them through a compassionate lens, you reduce your impulse to react with anger or judgment. Instead of taking offense, try to understand their situation. Practicing compassion also means being kind to yourself. Many people are harsh with themselves, constantly criticizing their own actions and failures. This self-judgment can lead to feelings of shame, guilt, or frustration, making it harder to control emotions. Self-compassion allows you to forgive yourself, which is crucial for emotional resilience. Compassion is not about excusing poor behavior, but about recognizing the shared human experience. By extending understanding to others and to yourself, you diffuse much of the emotional turmoil that comes from judgment and resentment. This emotional balance allows you to remain calm, empathetic, and centered, qualities that are essential for a Stoic mindset. Thank you for watching our deep dive into the power of not reacting and the 7 crucial rules to control emotions through the lens of Stoicism. We hope you found valuable insights that will empower you to master your emotional responses and navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might benefit from these principles. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content on Stoicism and personal growth. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'd love to hear your thoughts on these rules. How do you practice emotional control in your own life? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your insights could inspire others in our community. Remember, the power to change your emotional responses lies within you. Practice these rules daily, and you'll find that your reactions become more intentional, allowing you to live a more fulfilling and resilient life. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, stay stoic and keep striving for personal mastery.